Roses, where a couple of Midwest women and a Midwest dude cultivate a community at the D&D table. I'm Caitie.
And I'm Soren. And this week, Caitie and I are going to co-pilot Sorcatia Rosethorna. Don't know if you remember her, but she's our child. Baby. We're going to go through a one-shot interaction and basically just try to level Sorcatia up and get her some experience and show you guys the process along the way.
We figured out what we were doing thanks to a poll that you guys voted on.
Yep.
So if you want to continue to interact with Sorcatia and tell her what she should do, pay attention to her Instagram because we'll put polls there for what she does next. Mm-hmm. And the fearless TJ Hargrove is going to be taking us on a journey today.
Aye.
Through the garden. So strap in.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's freaking do it.
All right.
Let's just do it.
So, the poll that got voted on, the result was that Sorcatia was going to go run an errand
Yes.
for the innkeepers.
Aye.
As far as where we are starting out, the inn is located in the small town of Evening Star in the Cormyr kingdom. Basically, it is a peaceful town, very stable. There are mountains to the north. There's a river that runs through and along the east side. And then there is a large forest to the south and the west. You are starting your morning in the inn after being given the... Did you guys end up with a lute?
Yeah, a lyre.
A lyre.
Okay.
So you're starting out after the day after getting your lyre and agreeing to run some errands. Walk me through what Sorcatia's morning routine would look like.
Well, I feel like she's so new to this place that she probably feels like off her like normal routine. So I don't know. I'm trying to think like I'm trying to put myself in that space. So I feel like because we're co-piloting, we're gonna get a tiny bit of metagaming like in here because we're literally two
People
playing
don't
one.
normally play one character.
Right. But I feel like if I was in that situation and I was in a brand new place, had no idea like who anyone was really, but I knew that I had like a task to do the next day, little anxious Soren would like get up and like get ready and then go downstairs and at least try to get breakfast and also like hastily like pay attention to everything to see if like I could just get more information. So thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. I think she like puts on her outfit, whatever that looks like, and then probably like completely gets herself all the way ready.
Yeah,
like there's no
like overly
no
ready.
Hair out of place,
and she's just like
makeup is done. I like all of that, and then goes downstairs.
Yeah, so she looks as presentable as possible.
Right, and then after getting down there, like I would imagine that the inn has like some sort of continental breakfast of sorts, you know what I mean? Like the benevolent innkeepers have like some
benevolent
have some like baked goods just kind of sitting there for anybody who's staying. Yeah.
I feel like one of the innkeepers, wow, now we're starting to just narrate.
Sure,
Never mind. Okay, well, Sorcatia's coming downstairs for breakfast. Not a hair nor stitch is out of place. And yeah, she's just looking for
Does
some
she
bread.
do coffee or tea?
I feel like she does tea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she's an herb girl. I don't know what that means.
Basil in water is what that means. Basil in hot water.
A basil lass.
That's great.
Is that what you wanted?
Yep, that's perfect. Real.
Yeah.
So Cromar Olive
Is following
follows her at her ankles.
Can we give him like a short name, like a nickname to just call him? Okay.
I don't know. Or Olive. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Olive, but I don't
Olive's
care.
great. Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
just separate the two names.
I feel like the whole phrase Cromar Olive keeps getting like stuck in my throat, and I'm like Cromar Olive.
Yeah.
Olive is fine.
It's a mouthful.
Olive. Sweet.
What does Olive look like?
You go.
Calico.
Yeah.
There's a calico cat.
Oliver. Damn. Olive is a little calico. I feel like Olive would have a few more like gingery calico patches than anything else. Since it's fantasy world, I guess he could also have some like green like little patches.
Sure. Yeah. Olive,
yeah.
if you will, patches.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can it be canon that he has a quilt cape?
Yes. Can you say that a little bit more clear for
Olive
audience?
has a quilt cape.
It's like a teeny. I feel like it could be like one of those little like side capes that like ties on one side and kind of just goes over his shoulder.
Sure.
But
You've seen those cats that like walk towards the camera and it looks like they're really
like on a
using their
fashion
shoulders.
walk. That's Olive.
But with a quilt.
A tiny quilt
Okay, so
that Sorcatia made.
all right. So calico with a quilted cape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Calico quilted cape. I feel like there's a lot of
There's something there.
sound there. Okay. So yeah, you head downstairs. There is a full breakfast that is prepared and ready to go. There are multiple types of baked goods, plenty of eggs, sausage, basic proteins like that. I would say. So what is the name of the inn?
I forgot already.
That the
The name of the inn is the Fading Fern. It is called the like Fading Fern Inn, but everyone in town just kind of refers to it as the Fading Fern.
Okay.
Why do we know that? I don't think everybody else
This is
knows.
like a weird kind of meta situation that I'm in as a DM because they are. So yeah, first level of complication. It's 2 players playing 1 character, which is something else, and then they have also canon made the innkeepers Soren and Caitie, just in the D&D universe. And so it's like I'm piloting an inn that is run by them that they are exploring and staying in.
As one individual.
But we also
One
own it.
Individual, yeah. So there's a lot of like I have to ask questions before I can do anything.
And
kind of
a little
thing.
bit of this process, I feel like, is gonna be. This might not actually be advisable, but we wanted to try it, see how it would go. So
Probably not.
This isn't how
Yeah.
you normally play D&D. I think we all know that at this point.
Yeah.
So.
yeah,
Once we're out of the inn, though, then the world's my oyster.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then
that's true.
we can go from there.
That is true.
Point.
So you grab some breakfast, grab some basil tea, or
It doesn't have to be basil
you
tea.
said
Peppermint.
not basil water.
She likes peppermint, and there's no
Okay.
caffeine in that, but she is like an herbal tea kind of gal, I feel like.
Okay. So as far as so with Soren and Caitie running the inn, would they also be like the main staff, or would you have?
Shit, do we need to like I feel like clearly we're gonna be role playing where like you and I have to be the innkeepers and also talk to
Sorcatia?
If you prefer, if you want to have like a kind of like a house manager or something that maybe does
Sure.
like the day-to-day stuff,
Yeah.
and then you guys
like a front
do,
desk staff.
yeah, and then maybe you guys do more of like the business level, and then also like the marketing and
creative stuff. Yeah,
for the
yeah.
inn. You guys cool with a like Snow White Leonin that runs?
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just pull that out of your...
Yep.
That's great.
Cool. Give me a name.
Okay.
Just your
let's
first
see.
name's fine.
Snow White, Leonin. I'm not gonna name it Snow White. Could we go with Clarence?
Oh, Clarence.
Clarence?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. So, going back. So you head down for breakfast. Full spread of eggs, sausage, baked goods, basil tea or peppermint tea, herbal teas.
Yeah.
For your selection, and then as you're kind of like sitting there wrapping up your breakfast, you notice like across the dining hall there is where the house manager's main like desk. I think of it almost kind of like the alcove that we have in our entryway. There's just like a big cutout with like a kind of like bar
a little
desk
window
that's
for you to
there.
walk
Yeah.
up to. Okay.
So he can check people in and out, send out mail or whatever people do. So as you kind of like glance across the way, you catch the eye of Clarence. He is the house manager. He is a Snow White Leonin. Probably, I'd say about like 5'10". He's on the shorter range for Leonin. Leonin kind
I
of.
feel like that's average.
Yes.
I'm just
So, and he's fairly built. Wouldn't say he's like a real svelte kind of character. He's pretty stocky. He's got an intimidating enough presence that if anybody's kind of causing a
Also
rabble,
the bouncer of the inn.
for like the weddings that get hosted there or whatever.
I mean, someone has to be scary enough at night to spook people off.
That is fair.
So maybe he's wrapping up his like overnight. And he catches your eye and kind of gives you a wave and calls you over.
We tie our feet together and walk like a 3-minute race.
I almost feel like you guys need like invoke duplicity or something to just like.
How does that work? I'm not familiar
I
with
don't
that.
know. It's just basically you make a clone of yourself.
Oh,
kind of.
sure.
It's a cleric
we don't have
spell that creates a perfect illusion of yourself.
Like Naruto.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically that you can interact with. They just don't. They aren't like physically there.
Sure.
But you can cast spells through them because it's like an extension of your range.
I see.
So, Clarence is at the desk and you approach. And he says, "Good morning, Sorcatia. How was your stay?"
She looks immediately to me.
Which one of us is the voice box?
Who's the mouthpiece? I don't know. I feel like she would walk up and in that same nature as walking down, like trying to make sure that herself is put together, she'd walk up and say, hi, good morning. Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, how was your stay?
Oh, it's great. Breakfast was great. Tea was great.
Olive jumps up on the little ledge and like crawls into Clarence's lap.
Clarence is like sitting on a high top stool and he just like starts petting her.
Oh,
Yes.
I control Olive.
He's like giving scritches like under the chin and everything.
But yeah, no, it's great. I know that I'm supposed to be doing something today, but gosh, I did not write it down.
Yes.
So
You are to be running an errand for the ladies. You need to deliver payment. Running an inn to get things started can be expensive.
Right.
This place was burned down during a goblin attack a
Oh.
long time ago. And then with a loan and good enough reason, the ladies ended up building up this tavern out of the ashes of the old one. However, they have to repay the loan that was
That makes sense.
right.
Yeah.
So they are overdue on their last payment. Normally we have a currying. God, trying to say weird words in an accent is great. Currying service to deliver this payment, but once it passes a certain amount, couriers will not take it for their own safety.
Does it get like elevated?
Yeah.
Like clearance elevate. Clarence. Sorry.
What?
So sorry. I mean, like the task becomes more dangerous, so like you need a higher clearance, or you need someone who's willing to risk it, as it were.
Yeah.
Great.
So like the couriers don't like to take too much on them, so that it is less of a risk for bandits.
That makes sense.
Because the payoff won't be as good. So once it passes a certain amount, the couriers will not take it for you, and you have to risk your own hide to get it out there as a little bit of incentive to just pay shit on time. However,
These ladies don't care about that.
they forgot, and I was unaware that it was not already sent out. So, and he hands over what seems like a fairly small bag. It is a brown satchel with some purple and yellow detailing with the stitching. He's like, this is what is holding the payment. It is a bag of holding.
Oh.
Because if I were to give you the actual sack filled with gold, it would be cumbersome and would probably take you an extra day to get out there. So.
Right.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And then, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna ask, where exactly do we need to take this payment?
Right. So there's one other stipulation. You are not a registered adventurer yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. So you will need to go swing by the guild hall.
Okay.
And you will need to check in with the guild master there. His name is Eric. Basically, you'll just need to enroll. I'm not an adventurer. I'm not exactly sure what those steps are, but you can check with him. Also, are you familiar with this area?
No.
Okay. There is a very tall black tower in the King's Forest,
Okay.
southwest of here.
Okay.
That is where the payment is going.
Okay.
Maybe ask the guild hall, Eric. Ask him for a guide or directions, and he may be able to help you out.
Okay. That sounds great. Okay. Which way is the guild hall?
Guild hall, you're going to go to the west until you pass the magic shop called Made You Look.
Yes.
Then you will turn north on that corner, and the guild hall will be on your left.
Okay.
Can't miss it. It's a big wooden building.
Says Guildhall.
Just in all caps. Guild hall.
It's called General Hoods. It's a ranger guild,
That's amazing.
but they can outfit anyone. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
all right.
Cromar Olive goes and then like goes around Clarence's neck and then hops back down to join us.
Sprightly little fellow.
Oh, yes, yeah. He's a little precocious, but he's my best friend.
Yeah.
Is this gonna turn into I pilot Sorcatia?
Honestly, I hope so. Maybe let's get through another couple of interactions and
Yeah.
see. I think there's one thing. This isn't how D&D is normally played, but like once an interaction has started, it's weird to like. And me, I also say.
Yeah.
Do you want to just do every other?
Maybe, yeah.
Just hop back
Sure,
and
Sure,
forth?
that,
yeah.
that might work. Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So, are you on your way to the guild hall now?
Yep.
Aye.
Okay.
Yep.
You're a level 1 bard.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure are.
Got it.
Do you have any items currently?
Yeah.
As far as potions
We
or
have some.
any of that stuff?
We've got a dagger, leather armor, a lyre, a pan flute, and a rapier. That's it.
Well, and we have clothes and costumes.
Well, yeah, we are wearing clothes.
Okay.
That's it.
Let's say. Do
Gonna
you
add
have
some
any
stuff.
money that you'd given her so far?
Got any money, kids?
15 gold pieces?
Okay. That should be fine.
Wait, hang on. Before we move past this.
Mhm.
Oh, we also have a bedroll, a candle, more clothes, a disguise kit, 1 day of rations, and water skin. Now that's it.
Okay.
We are level 1.
Yeah.
With,
it is what it is.
Hang on. Armor class of 14 and 13 hit points. Don't hit us too hard. We will die.
Okay.
And we'll be making another character.
I'm not gonna deal with that. A little bit of a what would you call that? Rewrite. Clarence mentions that the tower is in Deadlook.
Okay.
Is the name of the town. So
Super, thanks.
yes.
Thanks, Clarence.
So you walk through the town. You're just going straight to the guild hall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll say this is probably still early morning, seeing as breakfast usually gets cut off at like what 9 at hotels
Sure.
ish.
Yeah.
So we'll say this is like 8-ish in the morning.
Okay.
So you're walking down through the main street. This is actually called the High Road. All the various shops are getting set up. You do notice the Made You Look shop as they are setting out.
I feel like Sorcatia would stop and just like look at the shop sign and be like, "That's so clever," and then just like keep walking.
Another detail about the town. I had mentioned this earlier, and I'm trying to remember the name of them again. There is a local animal
I've also forgot.
that
Oh, I also
is
forgot.
Tressym.
I think you're right. Tressym.
Tressym. Oh, I was so close.
Tressym.
Great.
And they are winged cats.
Winged cats.
They are local to this specific area. Like this is one of their major like migratory spaces.
You feel like Olive would kind of be like looking
That's
at them,
exactly
kind of
what I
like,
was just like.
the fuck?
So on top of like the various shops, especially on top of Made You Look, there is a large like cat/bird house that is
Like a
on it.
roost.
Yeah, like a giant roost, but it also has like cat trees and stuff coming off of it. Because it's like you're trying to accommodate both the bird and cat instincts within this animal. So you'll see those flying around.
Okay.
There are some monuments and small statues honoring them. They're kind of like seen as like a sign of good luck if
Sure.
they
A
favor you.
little bit of sacred
Yeah,
vibe there.
There's a strong pride for them
Okay.
in the town. So those are various. As you are coming up to the guild hall, it is a large, what I could only imagine is close to like a Canadian style hunting lodge.
Sure.
Like it is huge. There's probably various like whatever the biggest set of antlers they could get off of some game prize is across like the front opening. Lots of like very intricate woodwork and detailing. You notice as you like take the stairs up that all of the wood is very well maintained and like the floorboards don't even really creak because everything has been like so reinforced and delicately checked on and spruced up. As you come through the huge double doors that lead into the main hall, there is multiple large dining tables. You see like 5 different dartboards that are all like in rows. Multiple humans, elves, some you're going to be seeing very little of like other types of species in this general area. Humans and elves are the most common. There might be like a couple of dwarves that you'll see hanging around. This is like one of like the more northern outposts as far as the rangers go. So dwarves that are here, or at least in this kingdom, are most likely only going to check in here, and then they'll go back to the mountains. But at the desk, speaking of which, there is a broad dwarf man
Well, hey.
that is there. Very like salt and pepper hair, just wearing like he's wearing like a very cozy sweater. I like to think along the lines of like what's his name from Knives Out, Chris
Evans.
Yes, his like white super plush sweater, but then he has a leather vest that's over it with like, you know, a knife in one pocket
God.
and like fishing supplies
Sure,
in the other. Just like kind of a little bit of everything on this guy.
That's great.
Yoo-hoo.
And
Yoo-hoo. Don't mess with me.
so you come through the doors and he looks up from whatever he's tinkering with behind his desk, and kind of just gives you a wave. He's like, hello, how can I help you?
Olive is just gonna kind of like scamper behind Sorcatia and then like do a quick couple jumps, maybe like a grab on the shoulder and like sit on Sorcatia's shoulder.
Cute as hell. Holy shit. I think I need to register as an adventurer.
Oh, okay.
So can I do that?
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. We just have some paperwork here that you got to fill out. Just gonna get your name, some basic details. Do you have a vocation or a specialty that you identify as?
Bard, I guess.
Okay. So you got some magic going
Mm.
on? Maybe. Are you in the right place? Are you? Have you thought this?
I don't know.
through?
Yes, I'm a bard. See? And she pulls out
This like lyre that has like a string snapped. Because
ta
it was
ta da.
Okay. Do you? Let's start over.
Okay.
So, you're a bard.
Yep.
And this is your main magical. Do you know how to fix or maintain that? Would you like help? Do you?
Yeah, she knows how. I'm gonna like this is the loot that. Sorry, you go.
Yeah.
See, this is tough, folks.
I mean, yeah, probably. I think the idea that we kind of set up to above table a little bit is that she, like, anime style, like, became, like, oh shit, I'm good at this all of a sudden. Like, had kind of a natural tendency for it.
Yeah.
But she is still, like,
Don't know that much about it.
I guess I'm doing this now, kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
So, like, she's, like, naturally good at it, but doesn't know why and is surprised that she's naturally good at it.
Which kind of magic wielder is that? Like when we're talking about how you get magic.
Sorcerer.
So that kind of like, oh, I just happen to be good at this.
Somebody who has like a natural gift to sing, for instance, or something like that. She's got that natural tendency for it, so picking it up for her will be easy. That's why she'll level up so fast. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I feel like that would mean that she knows how to repair her instruments, or at least like maybe take care of them, but it's still very new. So I'm gonna guess that it's like I've never replaced a string on a lute before, but
I think I can figure
it
it
shouldn't
out.
be that hard. Yeah, like that kind of that kind of energy.
Okay. So that's great. We do give you some base supplies depending on the first task that you go out to do.
Great.
Do you need an assignment, or do you already have one?
I have one, and she holds up. So she's got the lute over here, or the lyre, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then she holds up in the other hand the bag of holding. I have to take this rent to a tower in Deadlock.
Oh, Deadlock. Okay.
Welcome to Deadlock.
Well, you will be starting at the lowest level of guild member.
Oh,
so
sure.
You will be a bronze level adventurer.
Perfect.
So he kind of gives you just like an identifying like bracelet.
She goes,
has like a bad. Yeah, you can put your stuff away.
bracelet.
Deadlock is about a day's travel. There is a road out there. It is through the forest, though. Let's see. And he starts kind of like rolling through some files. For your first assignment, if you're going to be starting to become an adventurer, we do recommend having someone just that is a higher level than bronze, kind of show you the ropes and give you some tips, maybe be a little backup if things get in over your head. With you going through the forest that far, I'm gonna probably give you if there's anyone here, I'm gonna shoot to find you a gold level person or higher, just to send along with you. And he kind of starts going back through everything, trying to remember like who's on staff. And he like pulls one out and he's like, oh no, they're still out of town. And like kind of is talking to himself and mumbling. And then he just kind of stands up and looks across the hall, and like squints way down and says, Zendo! And there's a elf in a black and silver cloak that is at the far end of the hall, that kind of just like turns and looks over his shoulder, and he waves him down. The elf that walks up, he is right at like 6 foot, kind of slender built, like a normal elf, but pretty toned. You could say he looks maybe only a little more mature than Sorcatia does. Like he's an elf, so it's kind of hard to tell age. It's like young adult-ish. Right. And as he approaches, he's like, Sorcatia, this is Zendo. Zendo, Sorcatia. She is going to be trying to become a new adventurer, and you are going to be her guide. Zendo has long silver hair. He has a pipe hanging out of his mouth, and he just kind of like stands there for a second, and he like gives you a once over and like nods, and he looks over at Eric. He's like, why me exactly? And as you see him kind of asking, you notice on his bracelet, his like identifying metal is just solid black. And Eric is like, well, everyone else that's gold or higher is out of town right now and taking on other stuff, so you're gonna need to give her backup. It's just a deadlock and back. Like, shouldn't be a problem. And Zendo kind of like starts waving his head, and Eric's like, I'm not really asking you. Also, I'm still gonna pay you. And Zendo's like, okay, fine. So Zendo goes to the back to start rummaging, getting some supplies for you. He comes back. He gives you a sack with 3 potions of healing, 3 days rations, flint.
Maybe some cotton. I'm just kidding. Whatever else you need to start a fire. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we'll call it there for now.
Okay.
Great, basically. Oh, and some replacement string for your
nice.
For your lute. Lyre.
Yeah.
Can we pick which one?
It's lyre. It's lyre. It's lyre. It's
okay.
a lyre.
Then okay, so then it looks like this. Okay, sweet.
All right. Anything else you need before we get going?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you know the way to Deadlock?
Yes.
Give me a deception.
First roll.
First roll.
Are you sure you want me to do it?
Yes.
Just don't do deception.
Well,
don't chuck it. What are we doing?
It is deception, right?
Okay.
Because you don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Where is she?
15.
Zendo rolled a natural 20.
No!
Yes.
Okay. Then you can lead the way.
Super. Just like slowly turns around, like, this is exactly what I wanted to have happen.
As you guys start going out the walkway, you
turns the opposite direction of where you're supposed to go.
We get out into the like main area, and she goes, kind of looks around and goes,
And that way.
And Zendo just
Grabs.
And then she just picks a new one. And,
Yeah, so you can see off in the distance, you can see the top of the Dark Tower.
Okay.
That
is it literally called the Dark Tower?
It is not.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like blocking that on.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're good. Okay, so there's your town, and then there's a main road that leads south towards Deadlock. There's a very large forest to the south, and then past that, you can see the tower sticking up, like out of the forest, kind of. So there is really only one way to get there.
Right.
So it's pretty obvious which way you're gonna have to be walking. At this point, with getting everything registered, you're just looking at like mid-morning, so probably like 10, 11-ish.
Okay.
But you just start walking. Zendo is fairly quiet. Since you said you knew the way, he is gonna like start with walking behind you just a little bit. Is there, as far as like Sorcatia traveling, do you feel like she's gonna be more talkative? Is there anything you're like gonna be asking Zendo going along?
I feel like my my natural Soren tendency would be to interact with someone, but because of how we built Sorcatia and talked about how she's a little bit more of a like I don't want to say like bookworm or like knowledge worm, but she is a very academic type of character. I feel like she'd be okay with some silence, if that makes sense. And she might also be trying to cover her ass a little bit and like just keep her pride.
I get the sense that she would try to play it cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this guy clearly knows his shit. So she would be like, I don't know. She
you're
gives,
gonna be quiet. I'm also gonna be quiet.
and then like halfway through, it would turn into like.
So anyway, what?
So,
what's your
the
deal?
biggest thing you've killed?
A little bit of a rewrite again. Give me a perception check. And you're just looking for a 10 or higher.
Well,
Jesus.
5.
No, it's a natural one.
Okay.
I suppose we're thick.
She is overwhelmed.
Cool. All right.
She focuses on Olive.
If it's any help, she does have a passive perception of 14. So if that's
Oh.
anything,
Yeah, we can default with that.
sure.
For
Okay,
this sake.
sure.
So while you were in the guild hall, you did notice that there was a board that had like requirement ratings, and that was across from each of like the colored bands that you get.
Right.
The highest band on that board was the black one.
This guy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, is black like that thing where like someone's achieved gold and or platinum and they don't have anything else, but this guy is too good, so black it is.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'll let you figure that out.
She's just
Sure.
giving me like a little bit of Persephone energy, and it's because I've been rereading Lore Olympus that I'm feeling this way. But
that's totally fair.
like a little bit of like, I'm just trying to make some fucking friends, man. You know, like that kind of thing. And I've made a fool of myself thus far,
Yeah.
so this guy's really cool. And
But I also I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like she would just like melt.
No,
Though and
yeah.
like immediately be like, okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. So like maybe there's a little bit of like pride concealing. But yeah, like where's the coolest place you've ever like extended question that really doesn't turn into a question.
Do you want to start with that? Asking where the coolest place he's been?
Sure.
Just to like break the ice?
Yeah.
So at this point, he's probably not like far behind you anymore. He's just kind of messing with you to start with. But he takes the pipe out of his mouth and he's kind of like tapping it on his shoulder as he's walking. It's like, everything kind of looks the same right now in my head. You ever been to the Feywild?
But no, I have not.
Parts of it are cool, and the rest of it's kind of
What?
confusing and annoying.
What part's cool?
Well, there's a pretty sweet realm called Prismere, which is a good place to hang out. There's a nice lady named Zabilna that runs that one. Also, I mean, the Sealy Court is full of a lot of people that
That's fair.
are powerful.
I've
and
heard that
interesting.
place is just really beautiful. Is it as beautiful like as people?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
If you're, I don't know, if someone that's like a guide ever has a chance to take you along there, I would recommend it. Lots of bards like to get inspiration from other realms and planes of existence.
I mean, this whole yes, I'm a bard, but like it's very, very new, so it doesn't really feel like it's stuck yet. But
Oh, like how new?
how new do you want to say? Do you
Well,
wanna say,
in
like, a
theory,
couple
this
months?
is supposed to be like
Oh yeah, like literally
couple days
2 days ago. 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah, I found out I'm really good with instruments. And she pulls out her pan flute and she plays like a little. She plays like the opening jig to like a Pokemon. Just. I'm picking a random like little melody that anybody would know, but she like do 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 do.
Are there any little like aesthetic or like minimal spell effects that come off of her messing with that?
Her cantrips are mage prestidigitation, so you could do something with that.
Maybe I'm gonna go for something like very basic since it is so new. I would guess that her hair might just kind of like fluff a little, kind of like there's wind kind of pulsing, and then maybe like a tiny bit of like an aura comes off of her, like a little bit of a faint glow, and then it probably just diminishes, and then she's just like, didn't know I could do that 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, that's a good start. I mean, I can definitely see the natural talent, so that
Thanks.
makes
No, I
sense.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird and new, and it's really cool, but I also feel so lost. That was a little personal, but
That's okay.
there it is.
That's honestly, I don't shadow newbies super often.
I'm sure it's annoying, huh?
It depends. You know,
Okay.
sometimes you get someone who's actually trying and wants to learn and asks the right questions and pays attention, and then you also get people that think they're the baddest guy in town and that they are the chosen one, and so on and so forth. Those ones, I mean, as annoying as they are, at least they're entertaining because they usually fail spectacularly. It depends though.
Yeah.
Sometimes you end up getting a good egg out of a bad situation. You never can tell, but I'm just usually off on other errands or jobs.
Sure.
So just kind of happened that I was here at the moment.
Well, I appreciate your help because I really need it.
Yeah, no problem. I could stretch my legs anyway.
Awesome.
And he notices Olive kind of like scurrying around and maybe watching some of the flying cats like going around in the trees. By this point, you're probably a couple of hours into the woods. The woods are very, very congested, very dark. There are still like some beams of light and stuff. Like you can see it's during the day, but
Hard to tell.
yeah, you are very shaded throughout most of this. It's like, so how long have you been in town? Your buddy seems a little uneasy with the other felines.
Well, I learned I was supposed to be a bard 2 days ago, so I got into town, 3 days ago.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
It's been a wild couple of days.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But I'm being a bard in exchange for staying. So.
Oh, okay. So a little bit of a...
Yeah.
Yeah, back and forth. I get that. Who... Okay, so how did you end up finding out you're a bard exactly? I'm trying to connect these dots.
I got into town. Okay, so I got into town. I'm trying to learn how to cultivate chromatic roses, but then that kind of gets pushed aside. So I got into town into the the Fading Fern Inn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went in there and I was looking for a place to stay, but I don't have any money because I'm coming here to learn how to do stuff and I don't have a job. So I got to the inn and I was trying to figure out how to get in and just have like a place to stay so I could find my contact to cultivate chromatic roses. And the crazy ladies there, they said, well, I could stay there as long as I provided entertainment for the inn, and they handed me this lyre, and then a puff of wind happened, and it was crazy, and yep.
Just choosing.
Okay. And you see him, he's like kind of debating some things in his head, and he's like, I've been around this area for a long time. Can I look at your lyre? Do you mind if I just inspect it? I'm just curious.
Go for it, my guy.
He kind of like gives it a once over and starts like brushing away some of the dust and getting everything, and like gives it a really light like strum and listens for a bit, and he's like, actually I don't know. And he like hands it back. He's like, I thought I might be able to give you something to go on as far as artifacts
Sure.
and whatnot, but that thing must be pretty special if I have not seen or heard anything with that description. So
Lit.
But as a professional favor, I'll ask around for you.
Oh.
I'll see if I can dig anything up on it.
Well, thanks.
And he like jots some notes down in his book. So as you guys are kind of still shooting the shit and getting lay of the ground, give me a perception check.
Perception. That's a nat 20 for a 24.
Nice. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a visual representation.
A ground.
Yes.
Wow.
Here's Sorcatia. And
Trees.
some trees, courtesy of a friend of ours named Parker for my birthday. Gave me those.
Thanks, Parker.
This is our buddy Zendo back here. Then up ahead, you see a couple. I was just going to say some dark objects initially, but with a natural 20.
Can't hide anything from me.
You can see that there are 2 treasure chests that are roughly not like a full-size chest. I would say like medium to smaller. Seeing as this is the main route to Deadlock, you would be aware that there are like other couriers and other people that would be transporting goods.
But are these like abandoned?
They're kind of like sitting on their sides. Maybe like they had
like a dropped or
toppled
something.
or something.
Sure.
But the final odd little detail that you notice just a little bit further down the way, there is
Buddy.
Dead.
someone laying on their side, sprawled out in the middle of the road.
I feel like Sorcatia's just gonna kind of like hoof it over there and like maybe stop like around here-ish and try to see if she can gain any other kind of information before just rushing to the toppled figure.
Okay. Zendo's gonna wait right here.
From like getting this close, does she notice anything extra, or do you need another roll? Or
Give me an investigation.
+3. 12.
Thank you.
Okay. So, the person from that distance, you're about, it's like 25-ish feet. They are absolutely unconscious.
Okay.
They have lost a pretty significant amount of blood. And their garb, they are giving bandit energy. They've got some pretty rough clothing, dark colors, a face mask. There's a sword that's like a few feet away from him on the ground. And then there's that chest that's close to him, and then this other chest that's over here. The one that is the white dye, that one looks like it has hit the ground and skidded.
Okay.
The other one looks a bit more like it's just planted into the ground.
If you don't want me to do this, we can retcon it. But if I feel like because she's level 1 and kind of a goon, she like out loud says, "I don't know, Zendor. This guy looks like he's unconscious and he's lost a lot of blood." Like just yelling it out.
I feel like she would just immediately turn around and like
Turn her back.
Well, she would turn her. I don't know, not fully turn her back, but she would be like backing up while she's like, "Hey,
this guy.
He's lost a lot of blood, and I'm so new to this. Would you mind checking it out a little bit better?"
That is another natural 20.
Whoa, not 20.
But what was it for?
We don't know.
He's doing a perception check
Oh, okay.
as you call his attention to what's in front of you. I mean,
So I'm going to say she backed up like here.
He would have seen you hoofing it up
Yeah,
there and
yeah,
taken in the situation, but to gather some details, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's absolutely a bandit of the Black Hand, is a criminal organization around here. As far as I don't see any animal marking like tracks or anything like obvious. Really, if something was big enough to take that guy out, I feel like I would see some clear indicators or signs."
So do we just like leave him here?
Loot his
like,
corpse?
Well, I mean,
loot that body.
it looks like he may have been trying to attack one of the carts that was going by.
Is he dead?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
She like takes that information and she's
It's not super common for like these guys to just be dead laying around everywhere, but it does happen from time to time.
Okay.
Bandits are dumb, usually.
She's just like, yeah, okay, bandits are dumb.
Got it.
I am just a little confused as to what got the jump on him, but I am also just shadowing you, so I'm not going to do all the work
Help
for
you at all.
You still have to, like, I need to see what you're capable of so that I can...
Is there an option to just circumnavigate all this and carry on?
I mean, we can if you want. Did you want to check the chests out?
She's gonna be like,
because there are other bandits.
what I'm thinking she's weighing is like, I'm so new to this, and also don't want to die, like in case something's up with those chests, and also is weighing the like, don't want to embarrass myself in front of this guy who's so much better at this than I am. So
he is gonna spot some of the indecision going on.
Sure, yeah.
He's like, I am here to spot you. I'm not just gonna like leave you hanging. but I'm not going to take the initiative to do all the work.
Okay.
So this is your learning opportunity, becoming an adventurer.
I love
Learning.
And then maybe she like steals herself a little bit. She's like, no, I love learning. That's why I'm here. And she like walks up to this chest.
Okay.
And tries to figure out how to open it.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand, I guess.
+3.
Oh, sick. 5.
Wait,
5?
is it tilted?
No, it's not. I was hoping it was like.
You kind of jiggle around, mess with the lock.
Okay.
But it doesn't yield.
Okay.
But it does seem secure. So it seems like if they were trying to run off with it, this one they weren't able to get anything out of it.
Okay.
But giving it a quick shake, you can feel there's some coin
Stuff
or
in it.
something in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to just put it in your bag of holding for now? And then you can... It is marked. There's like a seal on it, so
Okay.
you could probably turn it in when you get up there to the tower, and they can check it out.
Sure. I feel like then, like with that knowledge, she would probably just try to fit it in there. Do you feel like she'd go up to this other one? Or would she be like, I think we're good to go?
No, I think she'd probably go.
Okay.
Okay, give me a perception check as you
+4.
looking.
15.
Okay, as you come up to the chest, about 7 feet away, you notice the chest rattle
No.
and shake a little, and the lid just like barely opens and closes.
I think I found what did it. Probably in there. It's probably in there. I think it's in there. I think it's probably in there.
Well, that's it for us this week. Thanks for spending some time with us today, and thanks to Noah Trumbull for the use of our theme song. We'll leave a link to his Instagram in the episode description, so be sure to go follow him and to learn more about his music. Also, if you're enjoying the show, there are a few things that we would love if you would do for us. First and foremost, please leave us a review. For all the reviews we've gotten so far, thank you. Reviews help others find us. And second, if you wouldn't mind following us on social media, so we've got Facebook, Instagram. Those are the two that we're mainly active on. And that is also where we regularly post updates about when we might be going live, when Caitie might be streaming some gameplay just for fun, and all of that other jazz. So if you want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, then you can see what we're up to and be the first to know when a new episode is going to drop. Lastly, but not leastly, we also want to hear from you. So if something came up today in our Sorcatia round 2, part 1, kind of, please feel free to drop those in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or go ahead and comment on whatever other platform you're listening to, and we would love to hear from you all. If you have a topic that you'd like us to approach for a future episode, drop that in the comments. If you just want to say hi, please do that. We love when people say hi. We love interacting with you all. And if you want to shoot us an email to say all those things instead of comments, you can email us at chromaroses@gmail.com. That's CHROMAROSES@gmail.com. And it's all lowercase, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And we can't wait to hear from you. It is just me this week, but this has been Chromatic Roses. I'm Soren, sans Caitie, and fight evil, love others. Okay, love you.